Before we begin, if you don't have Premiere Pro installed on your system, you can go to the Adobe website and download a free trial. You can then go ahead and launch the program. The first step is to create a new project. You can click the icon here or go to File, New Project. You have to give a name to the project. Let's give first video. You have to select the location where you want to save the file. You can leave the rest of the settings as it is and then click on OK. You will be then taken to the Premiere Pro interface. To import media, you can double click here or you can right click, select import. You can do the same thing by going to file, hitting the import button here. Let's import some files. Navigate to the project files. It's very important to keep your files organized before importing into Premiere Pro. You have to copy the footage into the video folder, music into the audio folder, photos into the stills, VFX. You can import the folder as a whole or you can go inside it and import the individual files. Let's import the folder. You can see that the files have been imported. To begin the editing process, you have to create a timeline or a sequence. To create a sequence, you can go to the new item button here, click on sequence. You can do the same thing by going to file, new, selecting the sequence. Premiere Pro already has different presets available for different types of cameras like Red, Arri Alexa, Blackmagic Design, Canon XF. If you are shooting in a DSLR or iPhone, you can select the preset here. Let's select the 1080p 25 as it's matching to our video. Give a name to the file, first video. You can see that a sequence is created with the green icon here on the project panel. Let's take a look at the project panel. You can view the files in two ways, list view and the icon view. You can increase the size of the icons by dragging the slider here. Drag it to the right side to increase the size. You can search for a particular file in the search bar. Double click on a file to rename it. You can give a name camera B. To create a new folder, you can hit the new bin button. You can rename the folder. Drag and drop files into the folder. You can view the different files and also create new items. Let's take a look at the timeline panel where you will be editing the project. Bring a clip, you can drag and drop it onto the timeline. You can play through the clip using the playhead. The audio track is currently muted. The timeline consists of the video tracks and the audio tracks. You can play through the clip and use the spacebar button. You can adjust the zoom, also the track height. To bring a specific portion of a clip, you can double click it here and it will open up in the source panel. You can see what is happening. To set a in point, you can hit the I button. Select a point, hit the O button for the out point. Drag and drop it to the timeline. You can select video only and audio only. Let's take a look at the different tools used for editing. So here are the tools. Let's do the selection tool. Selection tool is used for trimming clips. You can go to the end of a clip and drag it. You will be trimming the clip. Go to the other end. You can see that both the audio and video is connected for this clip. You can unlink it. Move the audio and video around separately. Move it around in any of the tracks. To delete a clip, you can hit the backspace button. Let's undo that. To delete a gap, hit the ripple delete button. Right click ripple delete. The gap will be deleted. You can trim it. To select a bunch of clips, you can drag and select it and move it around. You can do this easily by the track forward tool. So let's select the track forward tool. The track select forward tool. You can move every clips to the right side. Drop a clip in between this. The track backward tool is used to select clips to the left side. So you can select and drag, move clips around. If you are using the selection tool to trim a clip, it will leave a gap. You will have to ripple delete it. To do this in a single step, you can use the ripple edit tool. So you can select the ripple edit tool and then trim the clip. As you trim the clip, you can see that the gap is gone. Trim to the right side. Next one is called the rolling edit tool. This will affect both sides of a clip. As you drag it, you can see that the screen is turned into two parts, both the sides of the clip. As we trim, we can use this to match actions. Next one is the rate stretch tool. This is used to change the duration of a clip. You can slow down or fasten a clip. As you play through this, we can see that the clip has slowed down. It is playing slowly. If you decrease the size of the clip, it will play fast. You can see that it has slowed down even further. Decrease the size, it will play fast. The razor tool is used to cut the clips into different parts. You can hit the button and cut the clips. You can select the clip by going back to the selection tool, then moving it around. Delete a part of a clip by hitting it and backspace button. To cut the video only portion of a clip, you can hold the Alt command. Let's select the razor tool, hold the Alt command and click. You can see that only the video portion is cut into part. You can move the parts around. To cut through a series of clips, you can hold the Shift command and the razor tool. When you cut through the middle, you can see that it has all the clip above and below it. Let's take a look at the source panel. To open a clip, you can double click on the clip. It will open up here. Scrub through the clip to see what's happening. You can hit the spacebar button to play through the clip. To add markers, you can click on the marker button here. You can also add another marker in the marker. To clear the marker, you can right click and click on clear all markers. To select a specific portion of a clip, you have to set in and out point. Set the in point, hit the I button. So set the out point, hit the O button. You can drag and drop it. Do the same thing by clicking on the insert button here. Click on this. It will insert on the timeline here. If you want to overwrite a clip, you can move to the clip and click on the overwrite button and the clip will be overwritten. Move frame by frame by hitting the button here. To add a video effect, go to the effects panel. If you don't see that, you can go to the icon here and select the effects. You see a couple of folders. You can go to the video effects folder. There are a wide variety of effects which you can add to a video. Let's search for the noise effect. Noise. You can go down. You can see the noise and grain folder. Under this, you can see the noise effect. Let's drag and drop this onto the clip. To view this effect on the clip, go to the effects controls panel and go down. You can see that the effect is applied here. Noise effect. Currently the effect is not applied. You have to change the value. So let's change the value of the amount of noise. Increase it. You can see that the change is reflected on the video. As we increase, the noise is increasing. To reset this, you can click on the button and give 0. Do the same thing by clicking on the reset parameter button here. Let's increase this. You can turn on and off the effect here in the effects button. You can click on it to turn it off and on. Okay, now let's add another effect. Let's add a Gaussian blur. Search for blur. Go down to this and select the Gaussian blur. Drag and drop it onto the clip. So you can see Gaussian blur is added. Let's increase the blurriness. The video has become blurry. Reset it. Increase both of this thing. Let's copy and paste these effects to another video. Let's select both the effects and hit the Command C button, then the Command V button. Now the effects is copied to both of these clips. To add an effect to your audio, go to the effects panel, select the audio effects folder. You will see a wide range of effects which you can add. Let's add a parametric equalizer. Let's search for the parametric equalizer. Drag and drop it. So now it gets added to this clip. Let's edit this and see what happens to the audio. Let's play the clip and see what happens.
Wonderful, sir. And this Mrs. Karthi is showing symptoms of delivery.
40 അല്ലേ പറഞ്ഞേ?
14th അല്ലേ പറഞ്ഞു?
ഓ, ഇത് 3 ഡെലിവറീസ് വേറെ ഉണ്ട്.
There are presets also available which you can add. So let's add a preset.
ഡെലിവറീസ് വേറെ ഉണ്ട്. വാഷിംഗ്.
To copy this effect to another clip, you can right click and hit copy. Go to the other clip and Command V. So it will get copied to that clip. Let's play through the clip and see what happens.
ഡോക്ടേഴ്സും മറ്റേ
Let's take a look at another effect, the studio reverb. Search for the reverb. Drop it on the let's edit this. You can add a preset.
Karthi is showing
സോറി എത്ര വരണ്ട.
So this is how you add effects to your audio. To add transition, navigate to the effects panel and go to the video transitions folder. You can see different types. So let's look at the dissolve transition. The cross dissolve is added as the default transition. As of now, you can change this by right clicking. The easiest way to add a transition is to go to the end of a clip and right click, apply default transitions. So let's play this. You can increase the length of the transition. Do the same thing in the effects controls panel. You can vary the duration. So let's apply a transition between two clips. To do that, you can select the cross dissolve, drag and drop this. So the transition is applied between the clips. As you can see, you can vary the length by dragging it. Now let's replace this transition by a band wipe transition. So you select the band wipe and drop it onto the. So this is replaced now. You can vary the length here in the effects controls panel. To delete this transition, select this and hit delete or backspace button. This is how you add transitions to clip. The audio transitions can be found under the effects panel. So there are mainly three types of audio transitions that you can apply. Constant power is set as the default transition. You can change this by right clicking. Let's add a transition to the clip. So you can move between edit points by hitting the up and down arrow. So let's add this constant power. You can add it before a clip or between the clips or the end of a clip. Let's play this transition. So you can see that gradual change is happening between the audio. As you can see in the graph which shows this, there is a smooth change. If you add the constant gain, see the graph here that it's a linear change, so it will be sudden change. It's better to apply the constant power transition. You can vary the length by dragging it. You can also change it here in the effects controls panel. Double click and change the duration. Change it to 2 seconds, so you can 2 colon and it will change to 2 seconds. The exponential fade transition is used to fade, as you can see, similar to that of constant gain. Every clip on the timeline has native effects added to it. Let's take a look at the video effects. It consists of 3 types: motion, opacity, time remapping. Under the motion, you will find settings like position, scale, rotation, anchor point, anti-flicker filter. The position is used to change the image from left to right. You can move the image up and down. Zoom in on the image using the scale button. Zoom in. Zoom out and make the image smaller. The uniform scale is checked as default. You can uncheck that and move the height and width separately. Change the height. Change the width. Rotation is used to rotate the image up to 360 degrees. Anchor point is the midpoint which acts as a reference. So if you move the anchor point to the edge of this, let's look at what happens. Let's rotate this image. So you can see that with respect to the anchor point, the image is rotating. You can move the clip. So the anchor point acts as a reference. The image will scale up with reference to the anchor point. Let's reset everything. So if you need to move everything together, every effect manually, you can click on this square button near the motion. So this will allow you to do everything on the program panel. You can move the clip around, you can zoom in, scale it. You can rotate it if you go to the end, go to the edge of the clip, you can rotate it. To come out of this, you can just click anywhere outside and it will come out. Let's reset that. Opacity is used to change the brightness of the image. So if you reduce it, you can see the change. To do animation or keyframing, click on a clip and open the effects controls panel. This is where you will be adding the keyframes. So next to each and every parameter, you will see this stopwatch icon. This is used to add a keyframe. So click on this stopwatch and it will add a keyframe. To add another keyframe, go ahead in the clip and click on this. To move between the keyframes, use the arrow button. So make sure that you fall on the keyframe. Let's animate the position. Let's go to the end and move it to the right. So as you play through the clip, you can see the clip is animating to the right. To increase the speed, you can bring the keyframes closer. It will move very fast. Now let's animate the scale. So click on the stopwatch to add a keyframe. Let's remove the keyframes on the position. Click on OK. Add a keyframe. Now let's zoom in on the clip. You can see the clip animating over time. Now let's do both of this together. So add a keyframe to the position again. Now let's move this to the right, down. Now you can see both the scaling and position is moving. Let's remove both. Try animating a new effect. Add a blur effect, the Gaussian blur. So search for the Gaussian blur. Gaussian blur effect. You can select the Gaussian blur and drop it. Now let's add a keyframe to the blurriness. Add under keyframe. Change the value of blurriness. You can see the clip blurs over time. To add a text or graphics to your video, you have to go to the graphics workspace and you will see essential graphics panel. You have to go to edit and click on the icon here. You will see that you can add text and shapes. Let's add a text. So you will see that a text is created on top of the video. You can double click this and change. Make sure that you have the selection tool selected and then you can move it around wherever you want. You can do the same here in the essential graphics panel. You can change the position, you can scale this, you can change the opacity, you can even change the font to any other you like. If you want to add a shape, you go back to the new layer button here, click on rectangle or ellipse. You can see that a rectangle is added. You can change the features of this rectangle by going to the appearance panel here. You can disable this, add stroke if you require. You can change the fill color. So once you have created whatever you require, you will see that a layer is appeared on the timeline. You can move this around wherever you want. You can edit this like any other video file. You can trim this and move it around. You can place it on beginning of the video, end of the video. If you want to remove this, you can just click on this and add the delete button or the backspace button. To export your final file after editing, make sure you have the timeline selected. Go to File, Export, Media, or hit the Ctrl+M button. You will be taken to the export setting. You can scrub and see the timeline. Make sure you have the source range and their sequence selected. So Premiere Pro has the different settings. Let's select the format. So there are different types of format which Premiere Pro can output. H.264 is the best option if you are outputting to the internet. There are presets available for Facebook, mobile devices, Twitter, Vimeo and YouTube. Let's select the YouTube setting. You can choose where you want to save the file. Navigate to the project files folder. To output and save. Export audio and export video should be ticked. Premiere Pro has already set the options automatically. If you need a higher quality, you need to change this bitrate setting. You can see the file size now. If you increase the bitrate, the file size will increase. More the bitrate, more the quality, but the file size will increase. Let's reset this back. We can go back to the preset, make it YouTube. Now you can hit the export button to export your file.